Welcome to a brand new edition of Bid Nerd, your daily nerd on the most interesting car of the day from all the automotive enthusiast auction sites. Look at that. My partner Michael Deeb in San Francisco in his awesome studio downstairs, along with yours truly, John Polnik, in the Container Park in downtown Las Vegas.
What's up?
Welcome to the show. Hello. Welcome to the show to everyone. What do we do on this show? We find the most interesting car of the day from all the automotive enthusiast auction sites. We have a conversation about that car. We make a prediction as to what's going to happen with that car's auction. And then at the end of the show, we go into the future and we reveal the results of that auction. We have a discussion about that. And you can play along just like the Price is Right in the comments below. You can put your bid in and see if you can beat the nerds. Chances are you can, because we're not very good at this. By the way, don't take our advice. Michael Deeb, welcome back to San Francisco. You were here in Las Vegas last week to be part of the Dur or Die Porsche podcast that we also recorded in the Rami studio. How was that?
Yeah, that was fun, man. I haven't done Dur or Die in the new Container Park. I did Dur or Die way back when you were on, what's the name of that street?
We were on Charleston in the Arts District before, in the old Dur studio,
Charleston. That was fun. That was creepy. You see the rats like running by while we're doing.
We never saw a rat. I never saw a single rat in that place. Honestly, it's the type of place that I would have expected, but we never actually saw one. I was always waiting for the day for something gnarly to crawl up on the desk when we were in there.
They were all the rodents would next door where there's heat and food. You know. What I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen cockroaches in that neighborhood the size of rats, but we never luckily got one in the old studio. No bugs or critters here in this studio, unless when you bring Shelby. That was cool. You brought Shelby. She like knocked over everything in the studio.
Oh my God.
Knocked over your beer.
I told Esther, I said, I can't believe P did not kill me, because Shelby unplugged wires and knocked over no less than 4 drinks with the tail. I'm like, it was a shit show. Oops, I dropped an F-bomb, but it was
Shelby
bad.
was doing work.
Shelby was itching all over the place. It was just it was tough to be her dad for that day. It was like, God dang it.
We love Shelby. She was awesome. If you are interested in the Porsche podcast, check out Dur or Die Porsche podcast. It's another channel that we do along with Dwayne Wick from Wick's Garage. And it was great to have you on that show, Michael Deeb.
Yeah, and a variety of guests. That's what I love about the studio, is it's so centrally located. You and Wick show up. And then on any given night, you know, you might have Jason, you might have Mental, you might have Chef, you might have Rami, you might have Mikey. Like, everybody swings by. So it was fun to be in the studio with the whole cast. Like, everybody was there. I had a blast. It was great to be on the show. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, JP.
Glad to have you there. Check out the Dur or Die Porsche podcast over on the YouTube channel. All right, let's get if you're here for the car. Pretty darn cool car today. What do we got?
This thing is badass. All right, so check it out, JP. Our new friend Frank Harrington and his buddy Chadwick that do the Another Pointless Automotive podcast here in the Bay Area, I suppose.
Hey, for the record, hold on. That's not us. That's not our opinion of the show. That's what it's called. Another Pointless Automotive podcast.
Yeah, so true. That's what they call it. Their words, not ours. So Frank reached out to us and said that he let us know that he was running his 2016 Ford Mustang Shelby GT350 on Cars&Bids, and said, hey, guys, why don't you take a look at this, because I'm going to run this on Cars&Bids at no reserve, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about running a car like this on no reserve on Doug DeMiro's platform. So the car is located in Martinez, California. It's got 42,900 miles. And just look at it, JP. I mean, listen, a lot has been said about how great a driver's car is the new Shelby GT350 with independent rear suspension, the flat plane crank V8 that revs. This car handles, this car goes. It's got Brembo brakes. Let's see, Frank's car also has the technology package, which is pretty badass. When you get the technology package, you get the upgraded Magna Ride dampening suspension. Now, I don't know a ton about these Voodoo Mustang cars, but I do know that the Magna Ride are the cars that handle. Like, if you were a guy that was really going to drive your cars either on rallies or on track days, you would want that upgrade, and he has it. I love everything about this car. It looks sinister and black. They only come with a manual transmission, and by all accounts, these things are pretty badass. It does have some miles on it, but he's running it no reserve. And so that's the thing he wanted us to discuss. JP, I think I kind of learned this from you when we first started doing the show. We talked about how important it was for a seller who felt confident enough to run their car at no reserve. You would definitely get more action. Do you think that still holds true today? And if so, what do you think about this guy really rolling the dice and taking a chance to run this car no reserve on Doug DeMuro's site?
Yeah, I agree that generally no reserve cars tend to bring more money in the results, but it is risky, and it's only getting riskier these days. On Bring a Trailer, that tends to be Bring a Trailer is still the best site to be on. It is a pain in the ass to get on there unless you pay the extra fees. Doing this on Doug DeMuro's site, that is risky. I think this car should do well on Doug DeMuro's site, though, because I think this car does speak to his audience. Kudos to these guys. They took really good pictures of the car. You know, I've made it very clear I'm not a Mustang guy. This is not my cup of tea. But if I were to get a Mustang, it would be something just like this. I mean, the color's right, the options are right. It's the car. It's the Mustang that handles this thing. I'm looking at it going, I bet if I got behind the wheel of this car, I'd probably fall in love with it.
Be a believer.
I'd be like, all right, I'm in. I haven't driven one, so I don't have firsthand knowledge. Yeah.
Remember when you had that yellow R8 convertible and you were like, Michael, this car is so not me. And yet somehow you didn't sell it for 6 months and you drove it all over the Western United States and put like 18,000 miles on it. Like, I think you would have a similar experience if this car landed in your garage. You know what I mean?
I agree. I'd probably drive it even more because this one's a manual. Our friend John Alcantara, almost said Jason Alter. John Alcantara has one of those Boss 302s from like 2012
previous
or something.
Yeah.
And that thing doesn't handle for ish. Yet it's so much fun to drive with all the horsepower and the manual. I don't think it's any. This car would just ish all over it. This is the far superior machine. And if I'm having fun in a 302, I'm sure this car is just going to put a smile on your face, and you're going to be happy looking at it.
This is 991.1 GT3 fast. That's what you would compare to this car from our neck of the woods in Stuttgart or Weissach. I mean, this is you're talking like legit car, like down the road handling on a race course. Think about this car on the Overton Run, John. You'd be cruising at 130 miles an hour. You could touch 140 in between the curves all the time.
For sure. I don't know, man. I would love to drive this thing. I'd love to own it. This is the kind of car that, you have a classic 911 in the garage, and then you have something like this, and it's probably relative to that GT3 you're talking about. It's going to be a fraction of the price. Now, the downside is it's a Mustang. It has the Mustang stigma. And, let's be honest, when you start to spend money on a cool car, part of the thing that you're buying is the prestige and you want, it's like, look, you buy a cool car to look cool. I think you're going to look cool in this car, but is it the kind of car that's going to get any kind of respect at any car show? Do you care about that kind of stuff? I don't know. It's just another Mustang. The average person, I think some people are going to look at this and know what it is, but that's going to be few and far between.
Yeah, I think a lot of people look at this and say, wow, that's a cool driver's car. Yeah. Where a lot of Mustangs are just boulevard cruisers. But it's not the most special. They made an R version of this car, and that's not what this is. The R version's got a little more carbon fiber and a little more tuning and that sort of thing. But just for one of these cars, I think it's really nice. Like I said, it does have some miles on it, but he's all in because he's going no reserve. So with that being said, John, our car is sitting at, let me read this to you. It's sitting at, so it's $58,000 MSRP. Our car is sitting at $39,750 on 19 bids. With that in mind, I think the car will sell for $45,000. I do think these cars, because of the sort of Shelby tie-in, I do think these cars depreciate at a much slower rate than regular Mustangs do. That being said, I don't think he's going to get sticker, not with those miles. So anyway,
I think the miles are the miles are the big problem with this car. And I wouldn't be afraid of those miles. I mean, that's the great thing about an American muscle cars. These are pretty reliable, and if they break, they're not terribly expensive to fix. Unlike something like a 991 or a GT3 or whatever, crazy expensive to maintain, and you don't want them to break. And a 48,000 mile GT3 of the same year, that's going to give you, that's going to be what, a 30% knock on the value at least. If not more.
Interesting. So, that's a good comparison. We should do another show about that, right?
Yeah. Are these still hard to get? Like new ones? Is this something that you can walk into
but I think they're
dealership and get one?
But I think they're right about phased out. I think they might have actually stopped making the 350, and they're going to make a couple more 500s, and then we'll probably get it. We're due for a new Mustang platform, so these cars are just about done.
What was your bid?
$45,000 when it closes.
All right, I'm just gonna go $1,000 over that. I really don't know. I haven't been paying attention to these that closely, but it just seems like a lot of value for that kind of money. There's nothing in Porsche that you could touch that's going to give you this kind of performance.
Then it looks like I'm betting the under because you parked right on top of me, so there's no room between us. Yeah.
All right,
we'll
guys,
see what happens.
Are you gonna go on their podcast
if they'll have me,
they're in your neck of the woods.
Oh my God. That's like my cup of tea. We just talk about nothing in particular. I would love that. If Chadwick and Frank will have me, I'd love to come on. So maybe we'll connect with those guys on Instagram and say what's up. Give them a shout. That'd be cool.
They're another Pointless Automotive podcast. We're just a Pointless Automotive podcast.
That is true.
And we will find out how much their Mustang sells for. No reserve, because it's going to sell. It's not going to fail sell. It's going to sell. We'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the future. Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX _customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. All right, let's get back to the bids. Let's find out how much that car sold for today. Welcome to the future, everyone. Whoosh. We need like flashy future lights. We need like a going to the future stinger that we can put in future episodes. I don't know. Maybe that's something I'll have to tell my future self while I'm here. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I know you took the break and used that as an opportunity to hit the subscribe, like, and notification button. And if you haven't, we really wish you would. It helps the show out. We are growing. The herd is getting bigger. You are a nerd. So why don't you spread the word? That's too much rhyming for one episode. If you're this far in, you're going, I don't know, man. I mean, if you're this far in, you may as well just subscribe. I mean, come on. And if you dipped out before this, you're smarter than us. All right, most interesting car of the day from all the automotive enthusiast auction sites is genuinely an interesting one because it was sent to us from one of our friends, right?
Yeah, Frank Harrington, shout out, and shout out to his partner Chadwick on another Pointless Automotive podcast. Guys, the car says it's in Martinez. I assume you're somewhere here in the Bay Area. I would love to be a guest on your podcast. Hit me up. I'll drive over and third nerd on your guys' show. That'd be really fun. Frank decided to submit his Mustang Shelby GT350 to us, Doug DeMiro's site, because he wanted to run it no reserve. Thought that'd be a good shot for us to look at it. So turned out I was pretty close to this one, JP. I saw his car and took a look at it and thought that it would bring $45,000. You took the over at 46. Frank sold his car no reserve on Cars and Bids at $44,500, and it's sold on 26 bids. So based on what I think the car is worth, I would think that he would be happy with that number. Now, of course, if you ask every seller if they're happy with the money they got, everybody was hoping they'd get more money. So maybe his knee-jerk reaction would be like, yeah, it's all right. But I think, when you step back, you let the dust settle, I would assume he's doing okay with that number. Again, he had 43,000 miles on his car, but it's a beautiful Shelby GT350 in basically stock condition. It looks excellent in the photographs. Well done, guys, and congratulations on the sale. I hope he chimes in when he sees this, to let us know what he thought about the result, and then secondly, to invite me to be on his podcast because I'm in the Bay Area. I'd love to do that. So what do you think, JP?
Yeah, you'll have to ask him. You'll have to ask him when you get there. I don't know. I readily admit that I don't know these cars all that well. It seems like that's just an incredible value. You don't see many of these with this many miles on them yet. I mean, do you? I don't know.
Yeah, they're out there. I mean, okay. It's a 7-year-old car now.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. That's a good point. I mean, 43,000 miles. Look, I'm never really someone that's super worried about miles on good cars, and being an American car, I think this is generally a reliable rig. It's not like some of the European stuff that we talk about where that's really high miles. I got to think that this thing is just fantastic. It looks like it's in really good shape.
JP, let me give you this real quick. The MSRP on this car was $58,000.
Okay,
and this guy just got, with 43,000 miles and well out of warranty, he just got $44,500. So his car appreciated. What? Tell me with the math here. $13,500. I mean, that's
you got to ask how much.
Good.
How much did he pay for it, though? These cars were these cars that were selling for over when they came out? Right. I mean, the environment wasn't that crazy back then, 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm assuming he was the original owner, which in all likelihood he was not. So, because it would have said one owner all over this thing, he would have said he was the original owner when he reached out to us. So, but I'm just, the number and the result compared to the MSRP. Now, again, we've made the argument. It's no argument to be made. It's the truth that money costs more money, but still that's interesting. It's just definitely worth looking at.
Well, okay, you can maybe answer this question. You're the proprietor of the Nob Hill Cafe in San Francisco. Everyone check out the restaurant if you're in San Francisco. Famous for the Bullet car chase from right across right across the street from your restaurant, right?
Yeah.
The re-release of the Bullet Mustang was at the same time as this car, was it not? Give or take a year or two?
Oh, God, that's a good question. Let's see. No, it was in 18. Yeah, okay. Give or take a year or two. Yes, it was in 2018.
So, I know there's one locally, and I only know this because I was at a friend of ours' dealership over the weekend, and they happened to have one, and it had I want to say no, it wasn't a different place, but it was 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it, and it was perfect, this car. Oh no, let's see, hold on. Sorry guys, we're having some issues here. iPad storage full. Is it still recording? It says it's still recording. We'll have to button this one up pretty quick. The that thing was they were asking $50,000 for it, and it had hardly any miles. How much different are these two vehicles?
The motor is the big thing. The suspension is certainly different as well. Although you can, I think, get a Bullet with the Magna Ride, the Magna Rhetorical shocks. Mm-hmm. You could definitely get one upgraded with the Brembo brakes and the Recaro seats. But the motor is the big difference here. So this is 520 horsepower. That other one's 440 or 450 horsepower. Okay. It's a really good car for what it is, as far as being a boat anchor muscle car. Yeah. But the big thing here is that the GT350s rev and they handle. They go and stop and turn like a GT car. Like I said, this car is equivalent of like a 991 GT3, and that's saying a lot. You know, that's a big deal.
Well, there it is, guys. Was that a deal? Would you buy one of these for that much money with that many miles, or is this this car just getting started? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys tomorrow on the Bid Nerds. I'm gonna hit the little thing and go here, and then do that, and hit this button, and bye.
Get those nerds!